Let's play darts. Ladies and gentlemen, a 45. A 45 to feast your eyes on. But if that score makes you feel, yuck, look at those stems and flights, ladies and gentlemen. You would not have seen these before on the channel. My goodness, since day one, we did standard stems and flights, the ones you saw in 1988, that sort of period of time. These days, people do crazy stuff. There are some people out there who still use the old traditional style, but you see K-Flex. I saw K-Flex. I used K-Flex for the last 14, 15, 16 months. So easy. You just pop them on, you don't have to worry about them. They don't break. They don't get Robin Hoods. You just throw them. They're extremely consistent. They're integrated. So they're not bending around like the standard flights you'll get. I can't complain. Until somebody, and not just somebody, people have been raving for some time about L-Style. The L-Style flight and shaft system. Now, big shout out to our friends at Darts Corner who provided these bad boys. They gave me a little bit of spending money to look on the shop. I highly recommend. Arrived within days. A little package, not just the L-Style stuff. We've got a few other things that we're going to be showing on the channel the next few weeks. But I saw the L-Style and I thought, so many people have told me to give these a go. Why not? And I just didn't go for the standard L-Style, but the spinners. Have a little look at these. These spin. Da-da-da, look at these. Spin, spin, spin. You can play all day. If your darts are rubbish like mine, you just play around with that. That's pretty good. But the main thing we're going to look at here first, let's have a look at them. Now, I feel bad slagging off my trusty K-Flex. You've never heard me complain about them. But aesthetically, look at these. They're beautiful. They're so much more pleasing on the eye. Not something I necessarily go for, but it is noticeable. I've got these in purple. I've also got some orange ones, so you'll probably see me use them a bit. Because I've been playing with these for about 3 or 4 days now. And I like them. I like them. And we'll run through that today, why I like them, what's the difference between these and what you'd normally get, standard flights and stems and K-Flex, the pros and the cons. So this is a review. Oh my goodness, we're reviewing stuff. We'll do doubles around the clock today, guys. Try and bear with me here. My darts aren't great at the moment, but we're being positive. We're going to go around 1 to 20 in ball. We'll get as far as we can in 20 minutes. So look, they're beautiful on the eye. Now they come with, so these are the spinner ones. So look, these pop off. Oh, I'm not going to pop that one off. Pop this one off. It's quite simple. You put your shaft on and you pop these on, and there's a little cap. Now I'm going to give you some advice about these little caps. They call them champagne caps or champagne hats or something. There's no champagne in them. I tried to drink out of them 3 times. And also, if you leave them lying around and you hoover up, they could be hoovered up. So I've currently got one of these on here, but that's what, if you see just in between there, you'll see there's a little cap on. Now, these caps are to completely almost eliminate any Robin Hoods. Now, the whole system itself leans towards avoiding Robin Hoods anyway, but the champagne caps here will give that extra. Do not hoover them up. Okay, right, let's have a little go with these. Let's throw it double one and we'll carry on this extensive review. The good thing is we don't have to talk about my terrible arrows at the moment, but we're being positive about it this month. And these L-Style is giving me a little bit of a boost. Now, they come with all sorts of different shapes and sizes. I've got the L3s here, the L3 shape flight, which is very similar, if not the same, to K-Flex number 6, I believe. but they do all sorts, and they do non-spinners, they do spinners, they do total integrated versions where you don't need these caps. Look, the Japanese, okay? Tell me one thing Japan have made that have been bad. No, they just make. They're in the future, okay? You've seen their cities in Tokyo. It's absolutely clean as anything. These are the sort of people you need to trust when you're thinking about what stems and flights you use with your darts. These are things that people do not mention. Right, we're still on this one. Two. Ooh, unlucky. Now look, the whole point of these and the difference between, look, the difference between my K-Flex and these, I went to K-Flex because I was changing my flights all the time, getting Robin Hoods, having to change my stems all the time, going through them like nobody's business. The K-Flex completely eliminated that. As we've already just spoken about, these eliminate the need to keep changing them. These are going to hopefully last quite a while. We'll see. That'll be interesting long term. But what the difference is with these, because these are spinning around like that, when I'm hitting darts and grouping them, they are grouping better. There is the big problem with K-Flex is that those big deflections. So with these, there should be less bounce outs, there should be deflections, should be less severe. And I have already noticed when I'm playing, when I'm getting groupings going together, they're just not deflecting. They're just hitting the flights there, the flights are spinning out of the way and they're going straight in. And I'm enjoying them. I really am. I'm quite impressed, to be honest. This isn't going to make me a better darts player, but at least it gives me less excuses. Right, 1, 2. And look, they spin, as you can see. Let's spin around. But when you're throwing them in flight, they're not spinning. If they start spinning as I'm throwing them, that'd be a problem, right? They're not doing that at all. They don't do that. I mean, technology. Ooh, not great darts yet. But we can't blame the equipment, I will tell you that much. Oh, there you go. So we've got a little bit of a connection there. And as you can see, it spun round and just fired in. So I guess it's giving me less excuses about terrible darts. They're consistent, like the K-Flex. You know, if you're using... So look, I'll quickly show you. We're going to be playing around with some different shapes here. Some kites, some straights, some pairs. Okay. And look, these are just the classic. If you just look, I mean, I'm showing you stuff you already know, but you can see the inconsistency. And you're going to get these as you throw with the old school stuff, whereas these are they're not going to change. They're not going to be moving around. I would say compared to the K-Flex, we're just thinking about the flights themselves. There's more give in these. These will move around a little bit more than these, and I think people will prefer that. These are a bit more rigid. People say they're lighter as well, the L style. I haven't actually weighed them, and I know you can get weighted caps and stuff if you want to mix around with your setup. So I think that flexibility with these, and look, people do like to mix and match their darts, and having K-Flex, which are, you know, kind of boring, you can mix up your setup much more with these. And I guess that's one of the only things I missed about standard stems and flights, was mixing up the look and, you know, trying to look cool, really, and just trying to look cool. And these do look phenomenal. 3. Oh, Samson. Oh, unfortunate. So if we're looking at cons, if we're looking at the negatives of them, I suppose that the price point is going to be more expensive than standard stems and flights and more expensive than K-Flex. I believe. Pretty similar pricing. But I suppose long term, you know, if you're not changing them much, and you're saving money. So I don't see the pricing as an issue, but you could probably say that as a negative. And like lots of things, it depends what you get along with. You know, what works for me might not work for you. Shame. I mean, L-Style have been around a long time. They've been around not just 5 minutes. They've been around quite a while, but it's only sort of the last sort of 6-12 months I hear a lot more about them. So let me know in the comments if you've used them. What do you think? There'll be people in the comments who are much more experienced with these than me. There it is. Finally. We're on 4. And look, if they do make my darts better, if I can finally hit some doubles, I don't know if it will be because of these, but if there is any inclination it could be, I will be writing a letter to the head of physics. Don't know who that is. Someone in Japan, maybe. Wow, what's that one? Oh, poor. I mean, my darts are so bad, I'm not even getting any grouping together so you can actually see them in action. So you actually, if you want them to make your darts better, you've got to actually throw them. That's another downside. They don't have any radar involved or things like that. Not good. Not good darts at the moment. But every dart is a new dart. It's a new day. We're going to be positive this month. I think we were positive last month. It's just the darts aren't very good, so we kind of have to keep reminding ourselves. It's just not ideal. Oh, Samson, just on the wire there. Now, we have gone around this clock at least 3 times in our international career in the 20 minutes we've got. But it's been a long time. It's been a long time, mainly because we don't play this game often. We should. Five. There it is. That's better. That's better. So yeah, as I said, they're not going to probably make your average higher, but do they give you confidence? So when I've been throwing my 19s and scoring in games the last week since using them, I do feel a bit more confident with them because I'm thinking, right, if I nail the first dart in the region I want to hit, like, I don't know, treble 19, I'm thinking, right, Samson, if you throw this and hit that first dart, you don't have to worry about a bounce out or deflection. You're going to nail it. So it's giving me a little bit more confidence that the darts are going to go where I want them to. So even if there's a mental placebo thing, that's positive. And that's why I think equipment is important, not necessarily because it'll make you throw better, but even if it makes you believe you'll throw better, I think there's something in that. That's science. Oh, there it is. That was good. That was good, mainly because this was close, and I thought, throw it the same way, and you might get it in. And I did. There you go, there's some positivity. 7. 8. Got to get a bit sharper on 8. A little bit sharper on 8. It's an important number considering I like double 16. Right. All we're concentrating on this from a technical point of view this month, It's the same as the back end of last month. All I'm thinking about is, can I be tall as an oak tree? Can my posture be good? And can I get my wrist all the way through? So like that. That's lovely, that one. Just like that. I know the dart didn't go the way I wanted. I'm tall like a tree and the wrist goes through. There's other things that are making that dart go up there, but as long as I can make those two things work consistently, I can start worrying about the other reasons later. Tall like an oak tree, wrist all the way through. 10. Ooh, unfortunate sun. So the big question is, will I stay with them or will I go back to the K-Flex? Well, I guess I'm not really sure yet. But based on first impressions and having used them a week, I much prefer these. I much prefer them. If you say to me, Samson, unfortunately, Japan have been omitted from all imports. You can never buy these again. You have to use K-Flex. I'd be like, okay, that's fine too. But if you said, Samson, you can only choose one set for the rest of your life, I'm choosing these L-style. Make of that what you will. So yeah, later this month, we're also going to experiment with some standard stems and flights, but in different shapes we've never had on the channel before or Samson has ever used. So that will be really interesting to see how we get on. You never know, I could find a match made in heaven, a soulmate in the darting world. Don't like those because I don't feel I'm upright enough. I feel like I'm leaning over this way again. I don't think I'm getting my wrist through again. Got to stop that. All right, let's try and at least get in double figures before you have to leave. Right, that first one, got to hit it. To hit it, we've got a good chance of getting it in here. So hit that dart, boy. All right, just miss. I was excited there. I hate double 10. I know I shouldn't say that as I'm throwing the dart at double 10. But my goodness, I think it is my weakest double on the board. I guess maybe because I have to commonly hit it if I'm left tops. I remember hitting it once in a pub league match and I was like, wow, maybe I've turned the page here, but I've just struggled ever since. I think that is in, you know. That is a great example. Is that in? Yes, it is. That is a great example of these L-style. Maybe we'll end on this point here. That one nailed on top of that dart and they've spanned round, but the dart has gone where it was heading and it's, there you go, that's hit me a double. So it's already got me one more double than I probably would have had before. In my mind anyway. And that's kind of what I'm saying about the mental side of it. That is gone so tight to it, it's hit the flight there, span round and landed where I wanted it to. So there we go. Let's throw this last one then. I don't know why. I should have thrown it at double 11, but nonetheless, there we are. We've got double figures. Guys, there you go. Introduction to the L-style flight and stem system. Really like them. I think they look beautiful. They throw like a dream. My darts aren't throwing like a dream, but that's a separate issue. But if you're interested in these, get involved. Go to Darts Corner, please, because they're friends of the channel. Friends of the channel. Get involved with them. Have a little look what they've got on site and enjoy your darts, really. Let me know in the comments what you think of these. I love hearing from you, and God bless and Godspeed. See you next time.